Since we're starting with the marketing here, let me tell you a story that I really like to tell, and that's what is marketing, how it came about, and I'll give you three perspectives. Good thing I held up the right amount of fingers. That would not have spoken well of my math skills, but let me tell you. So, let's say back in the day, how did a market originate? What's marketing? How does it start? Well, when one person has any kind of a need, and another person has any kind of a solution to this need, together they come and they form a market. In this market, they trade the solution for whatever, right? How big the need is dictates how much this person is going to pay for the solution. If it's not a great need, they're not going to pay a lot. If it's a great need, they'll pay more. Okay, and so the person providing the solution, that's you, the entrepreneur, and then your job is to find your marketing job is to find as many people as possible who have this need. The problem that you soon run into, and by the way, at this point, it's fantastic. It's all good. You have a need, you provide a solution, it's the ideal. The problem starts when you run out of people who naturally are discovered and who have this need. Then you have to start to convince people that they need this solution. Some of them do, some of them do not. And your job as a marketing entity, as a company, is to find as many as people like that as possible. So people who do and who don't, as long as they buy from you, you're happy because you gotta pay rent. You have pressures of your own. The real challenges here arise when we scale this up to giant corporations that are publicly owned, because the pressures on them are tremendous. Just keep on growing profits every year, every day, every month. And this is doable some of the time, but it's certainly not doable all the time until they bend rules and ethic rules, which really leads to them selling us cigarettes and alcohol and things we don't need, and Kim Kardashian is the most popular person in the world. Okay? Because through her, the celebrity image, they sell us other things. Like fashion is very tight, fashion, entertainment, they're very all tied in huge billion-dollar industries. And so that's where they know that they're not doing a good job ethically, but they have these pressures on them. And so that's really what marketing ends up being, because it's almost like a machine. It starts good, but it has no end, and it ends up being in this weird space. Now, the third perspective is you as the entrepreneur, you as the business owner. For you, it's all about, it's none of this theoretical stuff. You just got to get clients. And what you should think about really and deeply is how much every facet of your business is your marketing. I'll give you an example. Your customer support can get you repeat clients. It's your marketing. It's not just your promotion of messages. It's everything. It's every possible contact that your customers have with you. The more professional it is, the more it's helpful to people, the more they will become customers. Wherever you lack quality, that's you convincing your potential customers to not engage with you, right? So these are the three perspectives, how it originates, the big picture, how it marketing can become a little bit evil. And then there's you, the entrepreneur, with this, every point of contact that anyone makes with your business, you have to see it as marketing, and you have to make sure that you put your best foot forward, the most professional, well branded, good support, friendly, helpful, everything as good as possible, and that will result in as much business that your clients will give you as much as they can. Let's talk about why in affiliate marketing and in other marketing, people talk about the importance of building their list. The list is essentially an email list. And why is it so great? Well, you have a person's email. They're kind of mostly going to get it into their inbox. Unless they immediately unsubscribe or mark it as spam, they'll generally kind of keep it in their inbox. Sometimes they'll open it, and it's a great way for you to engage and re-engage them and turn them into people who don't really care, into fans. How do you do that? You consistently can, maybe weekly, maybe bi-weekly, maybe monthly, send something that gives them value. Okay. something that the reason they even sign up on your email list in the first place. What is that reason? You give more of that. Let's say if you want to make money, you give them tips, you give them advice, and it's good stuff. Stuff that builds their trust and builds, their sort of kind of build your acquaintance, right? They get to know you a little more. They can tell like you're in it for the right reasons. You're a genuinely good person. You're not gonna just spam and scam them, things like that, right? And over time, they'll warm up to you, and they'll appreciate your work. Once they do that, and you have their trust, you are a business at the end of the day, and you can every once in a while send them things that will make you money, either products they can buy or affiliate offers they can use, and then you might get a commission. But generally, once you do get a person to warm up to you and like you, then guess what? Every month you can send them something that they might buy, and you can do this for this year, next year, 10 years from now, as long as email is around. And guess what? Social networks change, but email has been around since 1995, and people still use it, and it's still something they check every day, all the time. Okay, so Facebook may come and go, Twitter might come and go, who knows? AOL might, came and went. Yahoo, still here, but whatever. But email is always there. So once you turn somebody into a fan, you can sell to them for years and years to come, and they always are going to open your email. They're not going to miss it in their inbox. Whereas on Facebook or Twitter, they might easily miss it. So anyway, that's why the email list is so important, and that's why you got to take care to build your email list and make the people in it super fans instead of just regular kind of people. In this video, I want to give you a broad introduction into SEO. I really thought long and hard about how to introduce SEO, since it's such a big field. It's really big and it's complex because it's so competitive, because whenever you're competing on Google search, SEO, that's what Google search is, you're competing against billions of web pages that have been online for the last 20 years. And every day there's millions and millions more pages. How do you compete? How do I explain it in a beginner context in a non-SEO course? So because it's a non-SEO course, I can't give too much detail. So I've kind of boiled it down to 3 broad parts to SEO. Let me explain what it is. To get your SEO working, your SEO stands for search engine optimization. I think it's a good idea for me to explain it because I don't know what the SEO level is of people who are watching this course. One person can be an expert, another person can be a beginner on day one. So I'm just going to explain it explain the basics. So here is how I boil it down. First, you have to identify what your ideal users will search for. The keywords. Those are the things that people enter into search. And you have to do extensive keyword research. I'll show you in the next video how to use a tool to do your basic keyword research to get new ideas and things like that. So once you have your keywords, the next thing is to put those keywords throughout your website. Quickly, it will be in your title of if you're trying to get your homepage or some page to rank for some keyword, that keyword is it's reasonable to say that the keyword should be in the title of the page and throughout the page, not too often, but also not completely not there, because Google has to know, hey, this site is about this keyword and about this topic. You should also use your title and description meta tags, and just generally use your keywords throughout your website and your pages, especially whatever you're trying to get to rank for, whatever keywords. That's what you should use that's where you should use the keywords. And these first 2 parts, the keyword research and actually placing them on your site, that part is relatively easy because you don't have to ask anybody for permission. It's your site, you can edit it however you want, and you're fine. The hard part and long-term part of SEO is actually getting your site to rank higher, and eventually get into the Google top 10, because you know that most people don't get too far past the first 10 results. So how do you do that? The number one way is to build links into your site, backlinks. It's a whole topic in its own. There's different courses just on that topic. So it's a big topic. And basically, I'll say on that is that you have to just network with bloggers, network within your niche, be extraordinary, and people will refer to you and link to you. That's the broad explanation of it, because obviously this is not an SEO course, so I really just want to give a broad explanation. And if you do those three things well, and also what can help you is a lot of social sharing of your homepage, of your website that you're trying to rank. And with that, that is going to be the foundation of your SEO strategy. And the better that you do each of these three things, the more likely you will rank higher for the right keywords and get SEO search traffic. Hi there. So most people struggle when it comes to actually selling products from social media, especially selling on Twitter. In this video, I'm going to show you a very professional strategy, a very advanced strategy to sell from Twitter, grow your brand on Twitter, and every day get more followers on Twitter that are not fake bots, right? That are actually targeted good users for your business that actually have a good chance to become clients. That's how you sell, by getting the attention of potential clients. So, and this is a 95% automated strategy that over time you'll get like up to 10,000 followers, and even eventually you'll get to 100,000 followers, which will make you look like $1 million, right? Very few people have 100,000, or even a few people have 10,000 people followers on Twitter. And these are going to be, you can buy Twitter followers like on Fiverr, yeah, but they're going to be bots, completely useless. This strategy, actually, these followers, they're actually going to be mostly, real people that are interested in what you have to say. And it's going to save you a lot of time, because you don't have to do the strategy every day, like being at the computer. It's mostly automated. You set it in the beginning and you just let it run, and it does the work for you, and it saves you time. You don't have to hire any interns or social media marketing agencies or social media marketing consultants, none of that. And every day you'll grow your Twitter following, and again, like I said, be in front of targeted people. So I'm going to show you how I do this. It takes two tools. They are paid. They are going to be under $50 a month. The idea here is that even though you have to pay, it should be a profitable strategy for you. It should make you more money than you pay, because it's a way to sell, and it's a way to save time, and it's a way to build your brand. So all these things, the sales you got coming in, the increased Twitter followers, the building of your brand, all that stuff, the saving of your time, that should be far more worth than the $50 you're going to be end up spending, right? So I'm actually presenting this as a profitable strategy, even though there are some small costs. So let me walk you through the tools that I use and quickly show you how I use them. The first tool I use is something called Social Quant, and both of these tools, by the way, will have a 14-day free trial. And for Social Quant, I even have a discount code for you, which is, in one word, big discount. Okay? And socialquant.net is basically, what they do is you make an account, and I'll show you how the inside of my account looks like. But you basically make an account. You go to their homepage, socialquant.net, and essentially just wherever the button is, click the 14-day free trial. You click that, and I'll show you what happens once you create your profile there. This is, by the way, the chart of my Twitter growth. You can see it's always going up and to the right almost every day. And what happens is you enter keywords that are relevant for your business, right? The kind of keywords that your clients might be interested in. Once you enter them, Social Quant team goes to work, and they start following and unfollowing people that are interested in these keywords, right? So it's not like the regular follow back strategy, because that usually just has random people who don't care. This strategy is more targeted to exactly the keywords that you tell it. And if you struggle with your keywords, you can just on Udemy post a discussion or send me a private message, and I'll try to actually help you figure out your own keywords. So that's it. And once you do this, you set it and forget it. And every day they'll get you in front of more people on Twitter. And as long as your Twitter profile converts well, you should be fine, and you should get more followers and get sales and get traffic to your website and get more engagement to your tweets. By the way, a little bit later in the video, I'll show you how to get more engagement in your tweets. But this is it, right? So you try the 14-day free trial. Even if you don't like it, actually, you can just enjoy more free followers that you're going to get from this tool. So you'll at least get something out of it. The other thing is one quick note on this tool, it does follow and unfollow a lot of people from your main account. So what you want to do, save your people that you follow into a list before you let SocialQuant do this, because then it's going to unfollow people in your main account. So from your main account, put people into your list, right? Do that in a Twitter list, so you can follow that list. Now I'm going to show you another tool, Social Oomph. And here we go. This is Social Oomph. Basically, this is the homepage, socialoomph.com. You click sign up now, and you go through the very basic sign up process. I'm not gonna do this here. I'm actually gonna show you the insides of my account, and it's gonna probably ask me to log in. So I'll quickly log in. And I'll show you the most important part. This tool actually has a lot of features. We're going to be only interested here for now in these Q reservoirs, right? I have 2 Q reservoirs. You're going to have to make your own. And what a Q reservoir is basically a very long list of tweets that you preload and you let cycle. So let's go, I'll edit and you'll see some of the important things. You see I have like 464 tweets preloaded. And it automatically tweets for you. For me, I set it to 20 minutes because I have so many, it's hard to run out of tweets. But for you, it might be a longer interval between tweets. And you want to also click this button to recycle the tweets. So when you tweet, when you go through your entire list of tweets, it's going to start from the first one. So it always cycles, always cycles. And that way, this is completely automated, and this can be cycling for like this month, this year, and next year. You understand. So you get a lot of tweets, and every time you tweet, what happens is that's a chance for somebody to discover you, or somebody to go to your website, or somebody to look at your product, whatever you're selling, right? So these 2 tools in combination, what they're going to do is they're going to you're going to be tweeting a lot, and you're going to be putting yourself in front of new followers every day, right? And those new followers will be seeing your tweets, and a lot of your tweets will be like product promotion, content that you made, stuff like that. Now let me show you quickly the structure of your tweet. I'm going to go to manage updates, and I just want to show you what I do with my tweets to explain to you how to tweet to get the most engagement. There are a few very important elements, and all backed by research. Let me show you what I do in my tweets. First of all, there's a short title. For example, how to write a business plan. After that, you put a shortened link to that URL. In this case, it happens to be YouTube. Then you use hashtags, right? In my case, for this thing is business plan, business planning. And the reason you do that is 2 hashtags is considered to be the ideal number of hashtags. More hashtags is considered a little spammy. Less hashtags just doesn't get you enough exposure. And of course, no hashtags is also bad. Hashtags are like a way to get you a little bit more extra discovery for your tweets. And obviously, when people discover your tweets, they also discover your business and the things that you're promoting in your tweets. And this number here, 89, is the length of the tweets. And you see that in almost no tweets, I use the full 140 characters. Why? Because research shows that not using about 120 characters or less actually gives you a higher click-through rate, because when people scan with their eyes on different tweets, their eyes naturally focus on the tweet that's easier to read, and the one that's easier to read is the one that's shorter. So having a shorter tweet is actually going to actually help you, right? So there's few elements to this tweet. Each element of the tweet actually gets you more engagement. So let me recap. Nice title in the beginning, shortened link, 2 hashtags, keep it 120 characters or under, and right away you'll start to actually have, even just with that, you'll start to have more engagement with your tweets. But altogether, you'll start each tweet will get more engagement and discovery. You'll tweet in an automated way with this tool, Social Oomph, so that you're going to continue to get traffic, right? You're going to continue to get exposure, and Social Quant is going to get you even more and more people every day and put you in more followers, right? And hopefully you'll grow to thousands, tens of thousands, hopefully over 100,000 people over time, and then every time you tweet, it goes to boom, 100,000 people. Pretty amazing. So that's the strategy that I use. It really works for me, but you've got to execute it right. Every strategy, the devil's in the details. If you try it, and if you struggle with this strategy, maybe send me a message or post a discussion, and we'll figure out what may be something that may be not happening right for you, or what's happening very right for you. If you're having success with it, I'd love to hear. So the two sites, just to recap, socialoomph.com and socialquant.net, and the discount code for Social Quant is, in one word, big discount, and so that will even make it even cheaper, although these tools are pretty cheap by themselves. So that's it. Try this, it works, and let me know how it works for you. I want to show you a really quick and simple way to immediately increase any kind of engagement you get when you post on Facebook, and that involves simply adding a photo to your post. So there are three kinds of things you can do. You can make an update without an image that gets the least exposure, and then I'll show you. So you see this post by Kishan Janini. It has a little tiny image that comes from the URL. He posted a link, and that link had an image, and this is where that image little blurb comes from, and this increases engagement. But let me show you how to increase engagement even more, because if I scroll down just a little bit, there's a Udemy instructor. His name is Dennis Smith, and he actually, look at the image he posted, right? It's a really nice, bright, clear, and huge image, right? So this image isn't really just from the page where he links to. This image is something he uploaded, okay? And I'll show you how to find images very easily for free. And basically, you see, it just takes up so much real estate on the page, it's bound to get you more engagement. So these kind of custom images, bright, clear, very nice, right? It takes more space, and hence it gives you more exposure. And basically, you don't have to look for them very far. You can go to images.google.com. They have a ton of images, and if you want to search for anything like, I don't know, something fun, right? I don't know, something random, you get all these images. I mean, of course, you should search an image that's relevant for whatever your post is about. I'm here just doing fun as an example. But you can see, you can pick out, like this one will be like a really nice one. This fun one will be a nice one. It's clear, it's not cluttered, and it will take a lot of page. Maybe this fun also is bright, right? You want to probably stick. Don't go for images that are cluttered, that are hard to understand, like this one, for example. That may be not ideal. And of course, if you want, what you can do is you can run it through an image editing program, and you can make the image bigger, just increase the dimensions, right? And so those three strategies: post an image in your post, find endless amounts of images for free. And you can, of course, use better places to find images. This was just an example. And you can increase the image size in an image editing website like GIMP, which is free, or like Photoshop, which is not free. And then you can have big, bright images like that immediately increase engagement you get with your posts, which is especially good if you're selling on Facebook, right? If there's something you're selling, of course, you want more and more people to see it, to stop and look at it. But even if you're not selling, you always want more engagement, right? That's why you're posting, more people to see it. So that's really one really quick tip for doing it. And even another tip is, sometimes I have a few pre-saved images that I use
for common things. Like if I have a sale, I have like an image that I use for sale. So once you get an image, you don't have to get it every time. You can just reuse your old one if it was effective. So maybe announcement, I have an announcement image. Sale, I have a sale image, right? So a few major things that are going to commonly come up, it's something you can regularly post and just increase your Facebook engagement right away. So a very exciting thing happened in the SEO world. A company named SEO Moz created, they come out with new ranking factors about every 2 years, and they are extremely reputable, one of the most reputable companies in the SEO space, and they've put together, you see here it says, I'm going to make it bigger for you, a lot bigger, and they say basically they asked over 150 experts, and when they say experts, they really get great experts, on what they see are the biggest Google ranking factors, okay? And they have this little chart here. It's a little confusing. What's less confusing is the chart is explained right here. So you and I are going to walk through each of these, and we're going to explore what is the most important things that will get your pages to rank highly in Google, okay? So this is, if you're not in Google, if you work for Google, you know the facts. If you're outside of Google, like you and I, we don't know the facts, and we have to approximate, and these are absolutely the best approximation for today, released in 2015. Okay, here we go. So this is the latest, greatest stuff. So the top most important things that Google loves is what they call domain level link features, right? So it's links that says to us that links is still important, link building is still important, but what's really more important is the quality of those links, right? And by quality, you want to have links that come from really good websites, and really prominent pages on those sites, and also very relevant to the topic of that website or page to your page, right? Those things are actually, you see, extremely influential for getting your page and website to rank highly in Google. Okay, that's the number one thing. The second thing is, just like we had domain level link features, page level link features. So it's basically the same thing, but links from not just different websites, but different pages, right? You see how a lot of these are differentiated by domain and page. You see, most of the points, they start either domain level or page level. Page level, you see number 4, page level, 6, domain level. So really they differentiate a lot. Like, do they consider like the whole website, or just the page from which a link is coming from, or something else is happening? So number 1 and 2 is kind of similar, except that they evaluate the website overall rather than the individual pages, right? So the website overall has more importance, like what it's about, how authoritative it is, how established it is, and then it's the individual pages on that website. Okay. Of course, number 3 is keyword and content based features, right? So keywords, and this is really all about relevance, right? So as long as your keywords are within your general authority area, then it's Google really likes that, right? So they talk about content relevance, scoring, on-page keyword optimization, topic modeling, right? Things like that. So it's all centered about the subject matter about which you talk in your page and general website. Okay. Then this is interesting. So they make a distinction. You see page level keyword agnostic features. So stuff that has nothing to do with features. Stuff that has nothing to do with keywords. And you notice it's far behind the keyword based stuff. So keywords are still very, very important. And this is more like structural things, right? How fast your website loads, is your website unique and interesting, Open Graph Markup, that's a little bit complex. It has to do with like different, some, I don't even know, to be honest. I only vaguely kind of know what that refers to even. And then you see here, what's important is content length, right? A lot of people wonder, should my page be like 300 words, 500 words, 1,000 words? Well, you see here, it's important, but it's not the most important thing, right? So content length is right here. I would also add to that probably content types, right? Because you can have videos, photos, text, audio embedded, things like that. And then here, number 5 is very interesting because it's engagement, right? What are people doing on your page? Is it like, are they coming to your page and leaving, or are they, that would be a bad signal, or are they coming to a page, doing a lot of things, spending a lot of time there, clicking around, sharing on social media? Those things are, you see, very important still, but obviously it's only like number 5 in the list. And then brand metrics, I'm going down to number 6. Brand level metrics, it's stuff like your general domain authority, right? Like if obviously if you're Disney or some big company and you make a web page, you have this brand that's super recognized and talked about on the web, and so that web page will be much more highly likely to rank than a web page made by any other website, right? Because it's a brand, it's a known thing. So let's go number 7, domain level keyword usage. This would be like all the pages on your website, like are they talking generally about some general subject area? Or do you have one page maybe talks about cars, the next page talks about health, right? So the whole domain is a little bit of a confused thing, right? It's not clear to Google whether your entire website is about some topic, whereas if you mostly focused on some topic, like let's say business, then Google knows like, hey, in business related areas, this website is more authoritative. They know what they're talking about, that's their focus. And so that would help you rank more than if you had like different topics, like one topic about health, another topic about sports, another topic about like cars, another topic about like medicine, whatever. That wouldn't be as good. And then you see number 8, we're getting down to the lesser important things, is stuff like we talked about on page, like text, page loading, and like loading speeds, things like that. All these security stuff on your domain. This SSL certificate is a security thing. Actually, domain name length, that's a new one. I'm a little surprised to see it here because there has not been a whole lot of talk about domain name length. Anyway, and then the last one is page level social metrics. Again, on every page, are people sharing your page? And by the way, I'm surprised to see it so low with these new metrics, with these new signals coming out, because in a way, this has been so talked about and so hyped. I think maybe Google is saying, you know what, it used to be more important, but now everybody is manipulating Facebook shares, Google Plus ones, retweets, and everybody's so focused on it because they want to get help for SEO. And you see it still helps SEO, but maybe they made it less important because people were going crazy on this, realizing that they can bypass the whole link thing and just do social sharing. But as you can see here in the latest, I think for me, the biggest takeaway is that social media, while it's important obviously, but it's only like number 9 on this list. The number 1 on this list is getting links, quality links to your website, and that is going to actually get your pages to rank, okay? And for me, I'm surprised because in previous years, I saw a trend that yes, links were still important, but they were becoming less important, and social sharing was becoming more important, and I was expecting that trend to continue. But now I see that that trend has slowed down, and that links are still very important. They're hard to get because you got to get good ones, not just any old links from some crappy websites. Don't do that. Only good links from relevant websites, and it will get your pages to rank really well. And of course, in this course, I have a few tips, maybe a lot of tips on how to get good links. So that's it. That's the new SEO ranking factors. This is really the best that the SEO industry has today. So I really strongly encourage to review this. I'm going to post the link here so you can also visit this page in the lecture resources and browse it yourself. But essentially we just walk through, and the main takeaway for me: get good links to your site and also cross-link your own pages. That also is important to get your pages to rank, right? So if you have it's not all about getting pages from other sites. It's really also about, in addition to that, it's about, if you have one page, make sure that you link to other pages that you want to get them to rank. Anyway, so that's it. Try these, focus on these, and this is going to increase your chances of getting your website to rank. Hey guys, I want to introduce you to social media marketing. And I know that does not need an introduction, because by now everybody knows what is social media, right? But do they? Do they really know what is social media marketing, right? I mean, people know what is social media, but when it comes to marketing your business, many first-time entrepreneurs or first-time marketers, when I ask them, so what are you going to do for social media marketing? They say, well, I'm going to post on Twitter and Facebook and ask my friends to repost my post and things like that. And I say, great. It doesn't work, right? I mean, it kind of works, but it's very, 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 very limited. And when I look at social media marketing, first of all, I look at it more broadly than just social media platforms. Blogging is social, right? Things like that. So it's a little bit broader, first of all. And there's a lot of intersection when you're blogging. There's a lot of intersection with like SEO and search, right? And think about, what is the biggest social media site that there is? In the English-speaking world, I would say the biggest are probably, I would say Facebook, right? Facebook and Twitter, they're the biggest. But search there, in those two sites, in those two platforms, search isn't a big driver of content discovery. Your friends are. People you follow are the driver of content discovery. But the problem is with those, when you're new, not that many people follow you, right? So it's a little bit of a difficult road. But the next social media platform that is the biggest is YouTube. And notice that YouTube plays a gigantic role in search, right? And that's what you want to leverage. If you don't have an existing following, then you want to leverage search-based platforms, because then you can get discovered, your content can get discovered, and that's how you will build your following. So I talk about strategies like this. That's one of the ways I look at social media, is really intersection of social and search, things like that, social and maybe other marketing strategies. But the core thing in social media, when you're doing marketing in social media, is you have to provide trust. You have to provide value, right? Whatever you're saying, whatever topic you're talking about. And that's when people are going to begin to trust you and get interested in what you're saying, right? If you are an interesting and authoritative voice in your niche, then people will begin to listen closely. Oh, this person is saying interesting things. This person is they're kind of interesting to follow. Like, they're going to start following you, reposting your stuff, resharing your things you post. Then their friends are going to start following you, right? So you build
an interest in what you're saying, you build trust, and when you do those, you kind of build yourself as an authority in the space. That's really what you want to be doing, because once you begin to be seen as an authority in your space, as a thought leader, or even as an interesting figure in your space, people will begin to follow you and subscribe and whatever on different social networks, and they'll begin to repost whatever you're posting, and that's when you get to start to have that exposure. So as you see, social media marketing is really about being very smart about how you get discovery, how people discover you on those networks, on social media networks in large volume, right? And then how to, you build trust, you're interesting, you're compelling on those social networks, you say and do interesting things, then you build trust, and then once you have a volume of people who trust you, then you can make money, then you can sell, right? That's really the core thing, right? That's when you get large volume, trust. That's the perfect combination for then making money or then growing your business, things like that. Without those components, something's missing, right? I mean, so that's kind of how I would urge, if you're going to be savvy about social media marketing, it's really volume and build a following through people who care about what you're saying, building the trust. So that's it.
In this lecture, I want to talk about a pretty nifty idea or strategy to increase your sales by introducing the concept of scarcity, making people feel, even if it may not be completely true, that time is running out. Or if it's completely true, I'll explain it. So you are essentially bombarded with this kind of a situation by other people promoting things to you. All promotions on television are like, buy this now until this promotion ends, or until the car sale only this weekend, this happens only until this date, right, while supplies last, blah 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 blah, those kinds of terms, right? And the whole point of it is to make you focus and say, hey, if I don't act now, I'm not gonna be a part of this deal, I'm not gonna get in on a deal. And if they wouldn't have that scarcity, then people would be like, oh yeah, I'll get to it eventually, and they just forget. So it creates this kind of sense of urgency and fear fear in people's minds that they would miss out. And that fear is very powerful because it does get people to act on things. So it's phrases like, this weekend only some number left in stock, get it while inventory lasts, only some number left at a certain price. Really, really effective. And I'll show you, like on Amazon, right? So I searched, I have this kind of page open just so you can see, and it's a random item. I'm kind of recently shopping for a new teapot, so I'm searching for it, right? And look what happens here. Only 18 left in stock, order soon. This is like even better because it's not just only 8. My suggestion was only 18 left in stock, right? Amazon goes one step further, and they have a call to action in there saying order soon, which is a great thing, and they do that on a few products. So you see, everybody does it on the web, on TV, and you must do it too. It will increase, unless you do it in a cheesy way. Don't do it in a cheesy way. Do it in a natural way. Because here, you see how it appears so naturally? Like, oh yeah, of course, only certain inventory, order soon. Of course, it's like they're helping you, right? It's like they're helping you not miss the deal. What you don't want to do is do the same thing but in a cheesy, salesy way that will turn people off, right? Because you don't want to turn people off because sometimes they see right through it. But if you do it in a natural, smooth way, as though you're helping them not miss the deal, then it will get people to act and to buy more from you. In this section of the course, we're going to talk about Facebook ads. Now, marketing is a way to get free traffic. Advertising is to pay for traffic. So this section is going to cover paying for traffic, ads. So what do I want to say about this? There are two ways to run ads that are very critical to understand the difference. Of course, many people understand the way to get ads is, you run an ad, you get somebody clicks on it, that becomes traffic to your site. That's fine. Everybody understands that. Now the other way is better. The other thing is called retargeting. Retargeting means after someone has visited your site. Maybe they browsed, maybe whatever, maybe they got distracted, they left, they forgot about you. You have to bring them back. You gotta bring them back. And so what retargeting does is it places a cookie on their browser, and so whenever they're on Facebook, Facebook says, hey, come back to the site. It runs them this retargeting ad that follows them around for a few weeks until maybe whatever time you set, or at some point they're not a good client anymore if they haven't come back. But definitely they're going to be like, come back, come back. And that ad, the retargeting ad, is going to be more highly converting and cheaper because that person already has been to your site, they already have shown some interest, and so they're a much better potential customer than some average person you're targeting. And so that's what we're going to cover in this section, these two ads, how to set them up in Facebook.